honoured to welcome in the studio today Mr. Mark Studley.
Hello.
Nice to have you on, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers for coming, mate. So, for anybody that doesn't know, Mark is an award-winning chef. He used to have a very successful burger place in town in Bridgewater called Cow and Bun. And you've also just released a book.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking all about that today.
Yeah.
So, I thought we'd sort of like start right from the beginning, really, Mark. So, how long have you actually been into cooking?
Probably about 5 years.
Oh, so not long at all?
No.
So you like got into it and opened Cow and Bun pretty much?
Yeah, so I started in my back garden.
Right.
Just knocking up stuff for my mates on like a couple of smokers and stuff. And then that kind of progressed to me selling it to my mates through my Facebook. And then I was getting 40 orders every Sunday. So I started doing that. And then that gets a bit too much to handle. You know, my missus is vegetarian, bordering vegan, so I'm doing meat and stuff, chucking it everywhere.
I bet she loves you.
Yeah, she hates my guts even now, you know. So.
She's just like house reeking of smoked meat.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and then she didn't want to help me do it, so I had to deliver it as well. So I was doing sort of 2 sittings, and it just got a bit out of hand. So I then set Cow and Bun up, and didn't have a clue what I was doing. You know, I spent a few months checking everything out all around the country, burgers and stuff. Thought I'd give it a go. First night, waiting times were like 3 hours. I don't think they improved over the 3 years that I had it, to be fair, if I'm honest. So,
but built a great reputation in a short amount of time, though.
Yeah.
Like everyone locally in Bridgewater was just like ranting and raving about how good Cow and Bun was. And like everybody was like going there all the time. You see it on Facebook everywhere. Like, we've been Cow and Bun, you know?
But it was good. I mean, we got... voted in the top 20 in the country. I was a top 16 burger chef in the country.
Wow.
We had the customer base was 2 hours, so they come from Bournemouth, Cardiff.
Seriously?
Worcester. They'd come down. You're like, do you want to sit in? And obviously, you know, we had the stalls, like 9 stalls. Oh, no, it's comfy to sit in the car. So they've just driven 2 hours to get there.
Wow.
And then you see them sat outside eating their food.
I have to say, like, I knew the place was successful. I didn't know it was that successful. I think that like some people would drive 2 hours to have a burger. But you know, fair play. As I said, they were sort of like, it was notorious in a short amount of time. As I said, the amount of people that were. I can't believe that you only started cooking 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, oh yeah, you know, I was 12 years old and I watched Gordon Ramsay. And that's
what it was is what got me going was I used to travel. I like going to Bristol, Exeter, stuff like that, and everywhere I was going, I couldn't get a good burger. I just thought they were crap, and you're paying 15 quid sometimes for rubbish, like, you know. So I thought I can do better than that, and then it kind of one side of me is arguing like, well, go on, do it. The other side like, don't do it. But then me, I'll just do it anyway. So that was the whole thing. So I could do it better than anyone else. So and I like to think, to be fair, I achieved that. So up until I sold it. So But
why did you sell it?
I just wanted a life. Basically.
Was it just all consuming?
Yeah, I mean 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. So I was only open for, I think we'd open at like on the weekends 4. Yeah. And then by 7:30, 8, we'd have to stop taking orders because we sold out. You know.
Wow.
And then you still got 2 hours of cooking after that, and then.
Just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is, and I couldn't get the staff.
A victim of your own success, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's a good way, it's a good place to be in a way. But at the same time, if it's that overbearing and overwhelming, then you sort of want your life back, don't you?
And I've got a 6-year-old. Well, she's 6 now, and an 8-year-old girl. So 2 girls, and I missed them growing up. Do you know what I mean? So I missed 3 years of their life technically because I'd get home, it'd be midnight, and then they'd be up for school 7. I'm up at 7 and I'm going to take deliveries into the shop. So I'd see them for 20 minutes, half an hour a day. If that, and the same with your wife and stuff as well, you know. So, which wives are good for you if you only see her half an hour a day. That's good, but kids, it's not so good, you know. So
no, I can completely sympathise with that. I've got a little girl as well, and I know what you mean. Like when on those like days or even those weeks when you're like super busy, it's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is depressing. You know, you feel like you literally see your kid in passing, maybe quickly say goodnight to him or something. You get in just in time to say goodnight to him, and that's it. That's quite a depressing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, and you don't have any time. And when I went down to doing 6 days a week or 5 days a week, those 2 days that I'm off, I'm still working. You know, I'm still doing all the paperwork and catch up on that, and and I'm running around doing whatever. But I just couldn't get the staff in Bridgewater. You know, I had one guy who I sold it to, who's obviously ruined it, but that's his problem. But up until that point, he was fine for me. Why
did you have such a problem getting staff?
They just weren't just unreliable.
Really?
You'd get people that they just wouldn't. I think because it's different working somewhere where in a sense your customer facing, you're banging out a burger every 20 seconds, so which is probably the same as McDonald's or whatever, but we're obviously doing it all fresh, and the work is super intense. I think I did in the 3 years that I was there over 500,000 beef burgers.
Whoa!
And you think and that's all pure beef that we made by hand every day, then I think it's probably about 160 to 200,000 chicken burgers that we prepped every day. And people don't want to do that. They didn't want to work hard. You've got to get stuck in.
They think it's going to be like some fast food place in Bridgewater, so like an industrial town. They think it's just going to be like knocking them out, like no one really cares.
But it's we made everything. All the sauces, everything.
I remember hearing it was all like really high quality beef and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, I mean, for somebody like myself anyway, like that's what I want. I mean, I don't want. Yeah. I want if I want to get a burger. I mean, I'm past going to McDonald's. I don't go to places like that nowadays. If I want to get something really good, I'd much rather go to somewhere like I don't know if you've been there, like Spitfire in Bristol or something like that. Proper like slow cooked, pork or beef, whatever. That's what you want.
I've gone off burgers now, by the way. I can't eat them at all. So,
really?
Yeah, I hate them.
You'll get a taste back from
it. Maybe. It's been 18 months since I gave it up, and I've probably had two burgers in that time. Really? One of them was funnily enough in Bristol was Asado, the South American flavoured burger place. That's really good, but that even to me then I was eating it, and I know it's good, but I'm just like I don't like it.
Just sick of it.
Don't, you just the smell of them, the look of them, it's off-putting.
I was a bit like that about whiskey for about 10 years after I had a bad experience when I was 14. Drank a bottle of my dad's whiskey, and I was like that for about 10 years. I like it again now, but one day you'll get the taste back for it.
Yes,
So I said I didn't hear for a while. I heard eventually that it had been sold because it was one of those things. I did wonder why it had such a good reputation, and then I did start hearing that it had gone downhill. Obviously, not everyone's going to be aware, obviously, that you sold it. But obviously, it's still got the name. Does it sort of bother you that the name's been sort of tainted?
A little bit, but I mean, once it's left my hands, it's left my hands. That's it. I've got rid of it for a reason. I didn't want to. I suppose the first 9 months after I sold it, people were just, who I don't even know, were messaging me saying, please take it back, please get it back.
They just wanted their burger fixed.
Get it back, he's ruining it, he's doing this, and I'm like, but I don't want anything to do with it, like, why don't you approach him, take it on or whatever, but people don't want to commit to that, they just, they want their fix, and that's it, so when you started like cooking 5 years ago, I imagine to get to the level that you have gotten to, I imagine you got pretty tunnel visioned with it, like with your cooking. When I'm all or nothing.
So were you just like reading up everything, looking up?
I wouldn't say I read up on stuff. I think what got me really going to do it. So I met a bloke called Marcus Borden, and I don't know if you're aware, but there's a group online called Country Wood Smoke. It's a massive like smoking meats and stuff like that. Right. So Marcus started up. He was a vegetarian until about 12 years ago, and so he decided to then stop being a veggie and get smoking meat because there's a butcher's opposite his house down near Clumpton.
That's quite like a rapid change. Did he say like why in particular he did that?
I think he literally, there was a really good butcher's over the road, and he just one day just thought, what, I'm going to go in there.
I'm just going to smoke all this.
Yeah. So
if you're going to make the change, you may as well do it right.
Yeah.
So he's grown now. He's got 2 best-selling cookbooks out as well. So and he was running some barbecue class, smoking class and stuff. And I think at the time he only had probably 4,000 followers or something. And this is going back probably 6 years ago. And I met him, and he was like, he's such an inspiring bloke that you just think, hang on a minute, you follow what you want to do. And I remember speaking to him, he was saying to me that his dream was to give up. He was a geologist, so up on the oil rigs and stuff. And he was like, my dream is to not do that anymore, and it's to be, do this full time, teaching people how to smoke meats and barbecue and stuff. And I was like, do you know what? I want to open my own place. And then I met him again. And he just, I said, what, I'm going to do it. And then I ended up going to a little party that we throw because my mate got killed 2008. So called Bodstock. So it's a little rave in the middle of nowhere. We get some big DJs down and they play for free or real cheap for us. So
nice.
And we all sat in a caravan one night and everything was going around and we were all a little bit smashed. And I said, what? I'm gonna open up a burger bar, and everyone's like, yeah. So I went and did it.
You had an epiphany,
it's just a spur of the moment. And my mates now, they just keep laughing, like, you did do it, you stuck to it.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
You did really well as well.
Yeah.
All the rubbish people normally talk when they're hammered like that, and you actually went and fully changed your life. Your life.
It was funny because I came out with it at the time. One of my mates at the caravan that we were in, he had put the caravan for sale on eBay with the festival organiser's phone number on it, just to like wind him up. So he's getting all these calls about this caravan that we're all sat in getting drunk in and stuff. And he's like, what's going on? And I'm there, I'm going to open up a burger bar, and everyone's like, this is all just too much, like, and we were
just going on one. So like, but after that, you must have obviously, to acquire the skills that you now have, you must have watched like a lot of stuff on YouTube, I imagine, things like that.
I don't really watch YouTube. I kind of, it's weird. I don't watch much YouTube unless it's something really difficult.
Yeah.
That I don't know how to get my head around.
Like a technique or something.
Yeah. So, on my, I don't know if you see my Instagram, Dirty Food Guy on there. So I've got like these garlic butter pastry cones. So it looks like an ice cream cone. It's got like stuff with carbonara and stuff in it, so you can actually eat it like an ice cream and stuff.
Nice.
And so I didn't know how to do that, and I was racking my brain, how do you do that? So I watched the thing for that, but a lot of it is that I'll look at a picture and then I'll go onto Google and I'll Google how they make a certain recipe, and then I just think, well, I'm just going to twist it up and just.
So you get creative with it and do your kind of own thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you see like in the book the beef Wellington tacos, where the puff pastry is the taco shell and stuff like that. So you just kind of turn on ahead in the cheeseburger roly-poly that you were looking at.
Oh, that looks amazing. That looks amazing.
And that's actually made out of potato.
Right.
So you kind of, how do you do that and how do you roll it? And I couldn't find anything anywhere.
That's crazy to me. Like, I just
So,
obviously assumed it was made out of some sort of
pastry.
Bread.
No, it's just literally you just grate all the potato, get all the starch out, put it in a bowl, chuck some eggs, seasoning, cheese, all that sort of stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then
a bit like when you make hash brown from scratch.
It's like a big rosti, basically.
Because I've done that, and that is delicious. I've done that, like great potato, and squeeze all the starch out and that, and that's
so that is exactly the same thing.
Oh, right.
But you just put it in a baking tray. And it's all stuff that I've just like, how do I do it? I throw stuff around the kitchen. Yeah. The wife's been to A&E a few times,
So how much, because you've clearly got like a built-in talent for this. You obviously were born with some skill that you've obviously only discovered 5 years ago for cooking.
Yeah, it's called winging it.
Yeah. But like, so how much of it was like trial and error? So was it, at first when you were making stuff, was a lot of it like pretty rubbish, or were you surprised? Oh, it was.
Yeah. You can see a lot, how stuff's come on. Like, so when I first started doing the burgers, I don't know if you remember Grill Stock, the smokehouse up in Bristol.
Yeah.
Grill Stock got that shop now. But so they had a Hobbs House Bakery bun, and I had the Grill Stock book. So I looked in the book and I was like, I can make the buns for this. Nothing like it at all. Really? Just tasted like cardboard.
Oh, no.
And I've still got the picture, and it just looks shocking. Like, you wouldn't eat it at all. You just bin it off. But, But so I just thought, actually, no, and it's, just stuff like that. I just play around with it, and then some stuff I can nail first time.
Yeah.
Other stuff, it takes me a lot. Like at the moment, I'm doing something that's, like a Walker's crisp. But imagine that. But it's, when you break into it or bite into it, it's got melted cheese and cheeseburger in it.
Oh, yes, please.
So I think that would be a world's first once I've done it, but I'm nearly there. But yeah, I've smashed a lot of stuff, and
I agree. I think one of the things that impresses me though is, as I said, like I like cooking. Yeah. But I'd say there's probably only about 5 things that I can cook really well.
Yeah. Whereas
obviously you got so many different recipes now. And you said like for the trial and error to make everyone be as like that good.
Yeah.
That's an insane amount of time.
It's just not being scared to do it, I think. And just doing it.
Just going for it.
Make it to your, I just, even when I can buy it, it's everything, I did it to my taste, no one else's.
I suppose it's like that thing as well, it's that old saying, and it's like if you put 1,000 hours in something.
Yeah. You get
what you put in. But you've got to be willing to put that 1,000 hours in if you've got a big enough passion.
Yeah.
But obviously, one of the main reasons we're here today to talk to you is obviously about your book.
Yeah.
So check it out, everyone. So where is that out on? I know it's out on Amazon.
So it's on Waterstones, Smiths, publishers, which is Meze Publishing, Amazon. Everywhere basically. So
it is available now, folks. So if you like your dirty food, if you like your junk food, then go get yourself a copy, and you'll be a very happy man or lady. So did you start writing that once you'd sold Cow and Bun?
No. So the whole book thing's a bit surreal, really, because I I sold Calum and I thought, that's it, I'm having a year off. I've got no idea. I just want a break. I don't want to see anyone. I became really unsociable. But I guess the point was when I sold Calum was August 2020. So I went straight into lockdown anyway. So then
convenient.
Yeah. So then I sold it to have time with the kids, and then I've got too much time with them. I'm homeschooling them for months at a time as well. And I'm like, oh no. So that's aging me. And then so the publishers would have been. They got in touch about March last year.
Right.
So, and they said, you've been recommended to us. If you wanted to do a cookbook, what would it be? What would it be about? And I'm like, who's recommended me? Well, don't worry about that. We've heard that you might be worth speaking to about it. So I've just kind of gone, all right, well, can I get back to you? Like, no, we want to know now. So I'm like,
ooh, straight off.
Yeah, all right, well, what publishers are you then? So they tell me, do like Marco Pierre White, MasterChef winners, all these sorts of people. So they're in the know, and so I've turned around and gone, all right, so my book, if I was going to do it, would be all the Instagrammable food that you see, all the dirty, messy food that you think, bloody love that, but it looks mad to make. I'm just saying you can make it, but you can go to the supermarket and buy every single ingredient. And then but also use my book as a guide, basically, rather than following it step for step. So you can go, if you're not good at making sauces, use a jar sauce. I don't care. It's up to you. Make it to your taste and to your skill set, your experience, your budget, and just do it that way, which I think is why it's, everyone's kind of raving about it, because it's, it's completely different and it's not set in stone for it. It's, it's completely unlike anything else out there.
Did you have a lot of the recipes already made before you released the book?
No.
Or literally just had to go from scratch?
Yeah. So they said to me, right, this is it. You've got till, I think it's August 31st to get it all done, or we had to get it all done. So I think I had to get all the recipes to them by the end of June or mid-July, something like that. And so I basically had from March to, so I had 3 months to write.
Yeah, that's not long, is it?
Yeah. So I kind of thought, all right, well, what can I do? So, I was home. So I was probably doing 3 or 4 a day, just coming up with it, just trialing it, getting my mates round. What does this taste like? And
so you were just trying all these recipes at home in your kitchen, seeing how they tasted, perfecting them, and then sort of dialing it in.
Yeah. So, but the hard part about writing a cookbook is when you make the stuff, it's easy, but writing it down, and measuring it all down is that's the really anal bit. And I was like, well, this is the hardest bit for me, because I can tell you how to do it, but I don't know how much of what I'm using, so I've had to go back through everything.
It seems like you do it by feel, from how you're saying. It's just like chuck a load of things together.
Just look, taste. It's all about taste, isn't it? So you just a bit of that, then it's like, oh shit, how much did I put in? So
sure.
Go back and do it all again.
So in total, did you say 3 months?
3 months, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a sign of your success. I can't even imagine what it's like, though, to just get a random call from a publisher and be like, we want you to make this book. We've done the ones for like Marco Pierre White and that. Was it like almost like strange?
What you gonna do?
Do you know what I mean? Because then it's almost like putting you in the same light as somebody like Marco Pierre White. In a way,
it's weird because most cookbooks, they're all self-funded. So a lot of the people will pay for it all, and they're not cheap to do. I think this one, if it was self-funded, it's like 20 grand near enough. Yeah. To do so,
so they had enough faith in you that obviously they were paying for that. They thought they could make money off your name.
Yeah. So what they did was that they said, right, okay, I gave him my idea, and he didn't really say anything, and then he's like, okay, I'll call you back. Next day, I thought, he's this joker or whatever. Next day, they've come back and said, yeah, we're going to sign you up. We think this is brilliant. It's got massive legs. There's nothing like it out there. We've done all the research. Blah blah blah.
Nice.
Contract's coming over. Sign it, and off we go. So you're like, all right, there we go then. So the rest is history, really. So.
Awesome. So you're an award-winning chef,
yes,
as well. So how did that come about? And
just winging it.
Was that from Calum Ban?
Yeah, it came from that. Yeah, so now I do private chefing. So I get to go to very nice houses with celebrities, high net worth individuals, sports stars, people like that, and cook them
really
dirty food because they don't want fine dining anymore. So.
Wow. So what's actually like the name of like the award you won?
Me? Yeah. So I've won Newcomer of the Year.
Right.
Yeah. So at the Chef Awards and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all.
I'm still just amazed that you only started 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that's crazy to me. And now you're doing private events for celebrities and stuff.
Yeah.
So have you been with like some big names?
Yeah.
Really, like all over the UK and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I try and do an hour and a half from Bridgewater. Really.
Yeah.
So. Right. But yeah, we've done people. I suppose the ones that I can say, like people like Tori Amos, stuff like
that.
Yeah,
sure.
Right. So
just chilling out with Tori Amos, making her a burger.
Made in Chelsea.
Right.
Made in Chelsea was my very first private thing, and that was pretty surreal because you kind of think, well, hang on, I don't know who they are, which is the funny thing.
I don't either really.
And I don't watch it, and I'm like, well, Made in Chelsea, and everyone's like, whoa,
Yeah, because the general public are like,
they're hyped on them, aren't they?
Mark's a superstar.
And I kind of go down there, and they got this big manor house that they've rented out, and there's no cameras. And you kind of go with the impression, they're going to be stuck up idiots, they're going to be this, they're going to be that, and you get there, and they're absolutely sound. Everybody I've met, apart from a lady from the In-Betweeners, Will's mum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Naming and shaming.
They've all been spot on.
Apart from Will's mum. No, that's cool about Tori Amos, though. I say, my mum used to play that all the time growing up to me. And I think she's just gone and saw her, actually, in Bath or something, a week or two ago.
She lives in Cornwall, so...
Oh, does she?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can imagine she'd be a pretty down-to-earth lady. Yeah, but that seems pretty cool to me, you'd just be chilling out with her. So you're making the same sort of food that you made in Calum Bunny?
Yeah, well, no, not really. So I do stuff for the book, so things like the dirty pies. So we do a rare breed. In the book, it's bangers and mash pie. But for clients, I use rare breed sausages and the mash. So the pie's actually got the mash in the pie and the sausages in the gravy, so you cut it all in. And so they have stuff like that. They have burgers, dirty fries, the grilled cheeses, anything really. Just So and they just sit and I speak to them first. And I'm like, you do realise I'm not fired up. Yep, we know that. We've seen your pictures. That's what we want. We don't want finding. People don't want it all the time. They've got all this money, but they're just normal people.
You just want good tasting food that's going to fill you up, and taste amazing.
Made in Chelsea, they wanted the bangers of mash pie, but they were like, "No, just do us bangers of mash." All right, well, you're paying me to do this. This is a bit weird. And while I'm making it, they're racing up and down the hallway on suitcases, smashed out of their faces, having jousting competitions, It's just really weird,
Obviously, you were saying that you don't eat a lot of burgers, but do you eat a lot of dirty food still?
Not really.
No.
Well.
Gone a vegetarian now.
Complete opposite.
But it's weird. My food, it's weird because I think where I came by, my eating habit completely changed because I didn't eat properly. You're kind of picking in the day before you go, and then you kind of get home late, and then you kind of have something. But then you're eating at 1 a.m. because you're wide awake still. But yeah, I think now. I'm eating a lot more sandwiches at the moment, I think, which is a bit weird.
Just convenient food.
Yeah.
Easy to eat.
But I suppose when I'm making a sandwich, it's not a sandwich. It's I've got to
make it over the top.
Yeah.
It's like a work of art.
There's some pretty mad stuff going on with sandwiches. So
a man-wich, I like to call it. A man-wich. So you don't want a sandwich, you want a man-wich.
Which is what I wouldn't mind doing. I wouldn't mind opening a sandwich bar, doing some pretty mad stuff.
That'll be the next book.
Well, or the next shop, So
is that something you're seriously considering? Then?
Yeah. I did have an offer on a place in town.
Really?
God, it wouldn't have been last year. It would have been just after I sold Calum because I was still I need to do something because I get bored easy. And I was going to do it. Contracts were ready, but then another lockdown came in, and I was kind of like, it's probably the wrong time. So, and I think it's gone. That was actually piggies I was going to buy. So.
Oh really?
But I've got all this idea to do, full on. Just massive stack sandwiches, proper.
So are these recipes that you haven't shared with the world yet?
Yeah.
Do you mind talking about any of them? Some of them on air?
Just Reuben Sandwiches and stuff.
What's that?
So like Stedley in America.
Right.
You've seen that with the. So you've got sort of massive pastrami and meats like that, and then sauerkraut and all that sort of stuff in it. Just massive. Beefy sandwiches, meaty sandwiches.
I tell you what,
rather than just your normal one with a thin slice of
that's not a proper
I was going to say that's what really bothers me. That's why
I
I make myself a lot of sandwiches, but I never buy a sandwich from a shop.
Yeah.
Even a nice cafe or something because it really bugs me.
Yeah.
You're even some places they'll get you some real nice bread and the bread's this thick, it's an inch thick.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a tiny slither of ham and some pickle or something. And then it's so chewy and it almost makes you angry when you're eating it. Do you know what I mean? You're like, I don't want to eat this. I can't believe I paid my money for this.
Yeah. And so that's the kind of thing I want to do. There's a place in Bristol called Sandwich.
Yeah.
And they do some really cool stuff, and I love all that sort of thing. And because it's dirty, it's carrying on the dirty theme that I like.
Yeah.
But just doing it in a day, and if I did something like that, the hours for me are a lot easier as well. But with all this stuff at the moment, I've got food demos coming up all over the place as well. So I just can't.
It's crazy how much you've blown up. Does it seem surreal to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't like the fame or anything. I kind of like, even this now I'm really uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. I just kind of like hiding in the shadows, do my thing, just hope that it carries on and, does its thing. So.
I think that's almost like everybody likes a success story.
Yeah.
Do you know, without sounding cheesy?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the thing, like, obviously you're just like a normal bloke that, as you said, 5 years ago, you weren't even into what you're doing now.
No.
And then within 5 years, you've blown up.
Yeah.
And you were saying to us before, you're going to be on BBC Radio soon. What was you saying? You were going to be in like, was it the
Daily Mail?
Daily Mail.
Delish.
Yeah.
So it's a big social media thing. Great British Foods.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Hanging out with Tori Amos, cooking her roly-poly cheeseburger.
Got to hang out with James Martin, John Turode, the hairy bikers, people like that as well. Got to hang out with over the next couple of months.
Fair play to you, man.
Yeah,
fair play to you. So, what do you think like the future holds for you, like in the long run?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll carry on winging it, and it'll either work or I'll be on the bins at Christmas. So,
So you got this idea for the sandwich place, and then may or may not do that.
Yeah, I've just looked at a pub today, funnily enough, to take on potentially. If I can sort it, then I think I'm definitely going to do it. But if I can, then that will be a destination. I think, So, but then I'll be sharing the load as well, so which would be good. But yeah, I think if it's all ifs, buts and maybes, but we don't know, do we? So it's just if I want this to keep selling. I mean, Amazon sold out on pre-sales. So,
really?
Oh, nice.
And then they had to get a load more in, and it's been the same pretty much everywhere. So we're
that's
kind
crazy.
of
nice. Blowing up.
Yeah.
I got a quick one. So with your burgers, what made them different? Like, what's the secret to a really good burger?
I just use chuck and brisket, 50-50 blend. So
chuck and brisket.
Yeah. So two cuts of the cow.
Chuck's like quite is like a common thing to use for burgers.
Yeah,
like
people will have like just a chuck burger or and stuff like that. But you want good quality meat, definitely from a butcher. If they can do chuck and brisket, you pay a little bit more for it. 15% fat.
Right. What's the secret behind that? What's the secret behind the 15%?
Well, the fat's what gives it the
flavour.
Yeah. So when your burger's just greasy and stuff like that, it's your fat out of it basically. So
it's like a lot of burgers that you buy in the supermarket, they would have more than 15% fat, surely. No,
probably not.
Really?
And the thing is, don't put any filler in it. Supermarket stuff will have a filler in. So and when you buy it from a butcher's, a burger from a butcher's, they'll have a filler in. So. It's like when you bite into a burger and it's like a sausage meat texture.
Right.
You know it's got crap in it.
Yeah.
So don't put anything. Don't bind it with egg. If your meat's good enough, the meat will last well on its own. So.
I remember I went through a stage. This might be a complete faux pas. I don't know. So it'd be interesting how you react to this. But I went through a stage because my missus has got a baking company. She's a baker, but she had all these different attachments for her baking machine. So I got like a mincer for it.
Yeah.
And I used to make ribeye burgers.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's got like a fatty meat, and they would be really tasty.
Yeah.
As you said, a bit like yourself, I looked up on like Google the best way to do it. So I remember hearing like they said like don't overly like compress it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Do you know exactly why that is?
So basically, the way to do it is we used to do smash burgers when I had the place. So what I've got in the book, it gives you 3 methods of burger. So one way you can shape it yourself. So just always like shape it with your hand, like you're making a pizza puck basically.
Yeah.
Have it kind of like this sort of thickness and just leave it like that. And then you got your smash burger where you put the ball on the heat in a pan or whatever. So that seals the bottom. And when you push down, it pushes the juices back up into it because otherwise you put it down and the juices flow out. And then I've got a method where you've got a big chunky burger, which I learnt off of MasterChef Professionals actually from Marcus Waring years and years ago. And he did a skill test or whatever it is. So he made a burger and he did it, and I'd never seen it before. He seared it either side like you would with a steak or a fillet steak, and then he banged it in the oven.
Okay.
Finished it that way because the burger's like that.
Yeah.
And just finish it in the oven. And that to me, that is my favourite way of doing a burger.
That's how you cook them yourself,
if I was doing it at home, that is exactly how I cook a burger that way. So I'd sear it, I'd make it nice and thick, sear it and bang it in the oven.
As you said, like you do, because normally you would associate that with a steak.
Yeah.
So
just
that
treat
keeps the juices in like when you do it like that.
Yeah, and only flip your burger once.
Yeah.
If you don't flip it more than once, if you know what I mean. So just you want a nice crust on one side.
Yeah.
This is if you're doing it on a hot plate or a pan or whatever. So just keep a crust on one side, flip it over, and then let it done.
Are you big on like your seasoning?
Yeah. So salt, pepper.
Yeah.
So you can do a 50-50 blend, or you can mix it up with salt, pepper, garlic powder, oregano.
Do you experiment with that a lot, like different seasonings?
Yeah. But the seasoning that I like is a mixture of all sort of 5 really. So
out of your new book, what would you say your favourite recipe is in the entire book? If you had to choose one and had to get rid of all of the rest, what would you choose?
That's a good one, actually. The beef Wellington tacos.
Yeah,
I would say, yeah.
And for what reason? Like, because you just think they taste the best?
Yeah, I just think because they're, I cook a lot of them as well, and everybody absolutely goes crazy for them. So
beef Wellington
as well.
Tacos.
Yeah.
So. Might be the same
Sounds
answer,
good.
but it might be the same answer. If you had to eat one recipe from your book for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a tough one, actually.
That's a good.
I'm trying not to have a look through it, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked through it.
Yeah. That cheeseburger roly-poly would be what
I would probably eat that. The grilled, the chili dog grilled cheese.
That looks good.
So yeah, I'm big into grilled cheeses as well. Stuffing anything that I can in them. Just cooking them in on the frying pan, and doing it that way, and just flipping it over once as well, and just to get the nice crust on it. And
it's making me hungry, man.
Yeah, that's good for food now.
Is there anything else that you guys want to ask Mark before we wrap up?
No, not really.
Anything you want to add, Mark? Anybody?
No. Cool,
anything else you want to say or plug or anything like that?
Just check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Dirty Food Guy. Give me a like and a follow. Yeah, and then
Mark Studley, and your book is Dirty.
Yes.
Check it out, everyone. Thanks for coming on, Mark. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.